or one right after another. So basically that's a 6-month coaching program. You can buy the downloads just for Kajabi. That's DIY. The middle part of that is going to be all of the Kajabi, the downloads, the workbooks, the hack guides, the resource guide, all of the videos, all of the lessons there, plus 6 months of online coaching, which we're doing tonight. And then the last thing is obviously our boot camp that we're actually doing in November the 6th through the 8th. That's going to be done at Coach Burt's Lodge. Coach Burt will be speaking on Friday with me. And then I'm flying my good friend Anthony Trucks in on Saturday. And then Anthony will be speaking with me again on Saturday. He'll fly out, I think, Saturday night. And then we'll be wrapping up on Sunday morning. And we will actually be talking about mindset, strategy, and multiplication through leadership development. It's going to be a small group, guys. I mean, we're limited to about 45, 50 people. Kara, does that sound about right? 45, 50 is what we'll hold there. So it's going to be a very small and intimate setting. So if you're interested in that, guys, we'll talk about that in just a little bit. So if you got your workbook, let's talk about taking action tonight. And this is the question I get a ton. Is people say, Ken, how have you done what you've done in 9 months? How have you went from taking your business from where it was at 10, 15 grand a month and really growing that business, your real estate business, your coaching business? I started from scratch. The Growth Stack Drive brand, we started from scratch. How have you done this? And I tell people it's all the time. Listen, it is action, 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 action. It is acting. And so I want to look real quick at the definition of action. And it is this: the state or process of doing something. So a lot of times I think we can get a paralysis by analysis. We're trying to figure out what we want to do instead of just doing it. And I think, I'm gonna be honest with you, I think Nike, when they did their slogans 15, 20 years ago, however long it's been since Mike was there, MJ was there, and it was that, hey, just do it. Just get into action, make things happen. And I'll say this, I was talking to somebody on the phone in the past week, and we were talking about the Growth Stack Drive brand. We were talking about the podcast and the virtual summit, which we've got another one coming up next Tuesday. We were talking about all of those things that have happened and just the phenomenal guests that I've had on our podcast, the relationships that we built out of the podcast, and just really how the Growth Stack Drive brand has really taken off in literally in like 4 months. I mean, it's only been about 4 months. And the thing I want you guys to think about tonight is this. In October, when I went to boot camp with Grant, it really lit a fire on the inside of me. Samantha has been around about that long. Probably a couple more people that were at boot camp kind of know the story. But really what happened was, guys, we started to act. So I kind of got the end of October, kind of got a fire lit in me. Okay, hey, I want to become a licensee. It took me about 4 to 5 weeks to even get the office to be able to take my $25,000 so I could become a licensee. I went down on December the 9th. I was invited by Grant to be a part of, I think there were 12 of us, 12 mentees that got invited to go down. We were there for the sales meeting. We got a one-on-one with Grant. They asked me to share my story just of the business growth at that time, just in my mortgage company or my real estate company, going from about 105,000 the first 10 months to making 129 grand the last 2 months of the year, over doubling. Growing about 619%. And I was able to do that. And then I came home from that trip, and the first person I did was I called Nate, and I said, dude, I've got this dream inside of me. I'm a Cardinal licensee. I want to start a coaching company. I've been working for another person. I want to start a coaching company. I want to do a podcast. I had all these things that I wanted to do. And Nate and I sat at the coffee shop just close to where he lives at here. And we sat for 5 hours one day. And I literally just went, dude, here's what I want to do. Here's what I want to do. And Nate just sat there with his one-line journal and just wrote down notes. Called Scott, one of his partners. Scott actually came over to spend about 2.5, 3 hours with us that day. And we just talked and talked and talked. But when I talk about action, what I want you guys to get tonight that I don't want you to miss is this. So that you're talking about December the 9th. I had no idea what Growth Stack Drive even was. It wasn't even something that was in my mind, but I had to act in October, November, December, January, the 1st of January, we're getting together and I'm like, hey, I want to do a conference. I want to do a conference in Atlanta. I want to do it at Leadership Maxwell, at the Maxwell Leadership Institute, from ESPN's College Game Day, who's a real good friend of mine. I want Davey to speak. Richie Dolan was going to speak. Several top 40, under 40 business owners and leaders in their space, 2 of which I mentored for 20 years. We're going to speak. It was going to be a phenomenal event. We get rolling. We're starting to do Instagram lives. Remember when I was starting doing those? We started doing Instagram live. And then what happened? Freaking March the freaking 15th hits and the whole freaking world shuts down. And we're like, son of a gun. Now what are we going to do? So what do? We just pivoted. We had a meeting in February talking about the conference. And I'll never forget it, guys. And this, I want you to understand this when we talk about action tonight. We had a meeting, Nate, myself, Rebecca, Nate's 2 partners, Scott and Dean. We're sitting in an office and we've got giant Post-it notes up on the wall. And we're writing down all these words. Like I'm just dreaming of words. Like, what do I want to do? I want to help people grow. And we literally had 2 Post-it notes full of words. And we went through and we marked out the ones we didn't like. And we circled some of the ones we did like. And we were left with, I don't know, a dozen or so words. And Rebecca actually looked and she goes, I like grow and I like stack and I like drive. And so we wrote it on a separate sheet of paper to grow, stack, drive. So it went from that brainstorming session after 90 days of really acting on and getting things going to coming up with grow, stack, drive, to going, okay, hey, now since we're having to postpone our event, that's when we were actually going to launch, May the 15th was when we were going to launch our first coaching thing. Why don't we speed the process up, because everybody's going to be home. Let's launch a coaching program, which we didn't even have a coaching program. Let's put together curriculum for a coaching program. Let's start an Instagram live so I can get on every day at noon Eastern time and just get people on Instagram live, which Instagram live turned into what? It turned into our podcast, which is now YouTube Live and Facebook Live. Hundreds and thousands of people every single day are watching those podcasts. And the list and really I guess the influencer status of who we're getting on our podcast now just continues to climb. I mean, it's unbelievable. And I told this to Nate, guys, back in December when I told him I wanted to start a podcast. I said, Nate, I want people to look up in 6 months or a year and go, how in the world did Ken ever get so-and-so on his podcast? Like, how did he get Grant Cardone? I wasn't still a note. Like, how did he get that person on the podcast? How did he get so-and-so? How did he pull off a virtual summit with panelists whose wealth and value was worth probably more than $100 to $200 million? Every time we roll one out, we've got thought leaders in every different space. How did we do that? It all started back in October, November when we took action. I didn't know what it was going to look like. Had no idea we would be sitting here tonight. Had no idea. I'm going to show you guys some video of what we shot this week, and you're going to be like, oh my God, this is insane. I had no idea what it looked like 5 or 6 months ago or 7 months ago. But what I did was I acted. So when people say, Ken, how did you get where you're at? We freaking just did it. We acted. I called Nate on the phone right in the airport in Miami. And I said, dude, we need to meet and grab coffee. I got to get this stuff out of me. And that began the process of action. It's literally taking steps. And that's the one question I get more than anything else is how are you doing what you're doing? We freaking just acted. It was action. And I know some of you guys, you get this. I know some of you guys, you understand exactly what I'm talking about. So I want to talk about 3 things tonight that action does. Nate's actually on a phone call with his dad. He just texted me. So he'll get back with us in just a minute. But I want to talk about 3 things that action does. Number 1, action gets you moving. It gets you moving. Listen, guys, movement always equals commitment. Movement always equals commitment. Action gets you moving. It gets you going. Greg, how long you been doing your Instagram videos?
Maybe about 3 months.
And dude, I'm like, bro, for the first probably month, almost every day, I'm like, dude, this was awesome. Now let's work on this. Dude, Greg, this is great. Keep doing what you're doing, cheering. And about once a week, I'd send Greg a video or something. I go, hey, let's work on smiling a little bit more. Let's work on your countenance a little bit more. But you know what? He's never going to get better. He's never going to do anything until he until he gets moving. Like, you have to move. Action gets you moving. And I don't even care. Guys, here's the thing right here. Again, I go to analysis by paralysis. I don't even care if you're 100% sure of what it looks like you want to do. I don't care. Just act. Just do something. And I guarantee you, if I ask Sam, unmute yourself real quick. If you ask Sam what was the key for her, and if you haven't, guys, if you haven't seen Sam, drop your IG in there so they can follow you if they're not following you already. When you see her before and after pictures from October, you're like, oh my God, that chick looks like she was dead. Like I looked like I was going to a funeral, legit. Like there was conversations we had where I'm like, Sam, you got this, girl. You can make it one more week. But Sam, what part did action play for you in getting you out of where you were?
I think for me, I had to really take stock in where I was and take responsibility for the fact that it was my choices that allowed my health to deteriorate the way that it did. And I needed to take ownership of that. And I started swimming every morning before
I remember
every morning before work, and then physical therapy 3 days a week. And I went hard for it. You know, someone asked me the other day, what's the significance of 10-19-19? That's the day the mentorship program started with Grant.
Yeah.
That's the day I turned my life around. He said, no more drinking for the weekend. I haven't had a drop of alcohol since he asked us not to drink. He's like, just don't do it. There are no such thing as weekends anymore. Get into accountability, look yourself square in the eye and trust in your path and really get that clarity. And I leaned into that and I went,
action's got you where you are today.
Absolutely.
And I remember talking with you through the beginning stages of you swimming and you're like, I can't go do it. I'm tired. I'm wore out. No, you get your ass up in the morning and you go swim some more.
Yeah.
It's just, guys, listen, action gets you moving and moving becomes commitment. Action gets you moving and moving becomes commitment. Because when you start doing it, you start creating this disciplined habit in your life. And before you know it, you look up and you're where, if somebody would have told Melissa in November, she would be where she is today, she probably would have told you you're insane because of where she was. And here we are 8-9 months later, and she is a completely different individual because of action. So action gets you moving, and movement becomes and always will turn into commitment if you keep the action up. The second thing that action does is action gets you focused. It gets you focused. So does anybody know what last Friday was? Anybody know what August the 7th, last Friday? Any ideas? Anybody want to guess? It was my 52nd birthday. Right? Birthday. It was yes, it was. Joseph knows what's up. It was my 52nd birthday. And so I'm going to be honest with you. I came back in town on Monday night. My flight landed about midnight. And I got in my car. And I've been in the airport in Atlanta 500 times, probably in the last 20 or 30 years. I get in the car and I'm pulling out of the airport and I'm looking at the sign. I'm like, what does that say? Crap. I had to pull my daggum glasses out. Like, I've got glasses. Nobody knows I wear them. And I only wear them sometimes if I'm refereeing late or if I'm umpiring a late baseball game and I've got to drive for a couple hours, I grab my glasses out. But here's the thing. Here's the thing about focus. What would happen was without my glasses, I could kind of vaguely pick up where we were going, but I wasn't 100% sure. And this is what I want you to write down tonight. Sometimes you can't see where you're going from where you are. Sometimes you can't see where you're going from where you are, from where you are. And that's how I was the other day. I had to freaking get my glasses out. I'm searching in my glove compartment because I probably hadn't worn them twice in a year. But I had to pull them out. And I'm telling you, as soon as I put them on, I'm like, oh, good, I can read the sign now. But here's the thing. Action gets you focused. I'm telling you, when you begin to act, it's literally like a thoroughbred at the Kentucky Derby in May. Like, it literally puts blinders on, and you are locked in to what you want to do. And again, I'll go back to the whole Grow Stack Drive story, and I go back to the podcast, and I'll go back to everything that we've seen on our real estate teams. We put 3 houses under contract this week, almost $1 million under contract this week. It's insane what we're seeing. But guys, I'm gonna be honest with you. In December the 9th or the 10th, when Nate and I sat down and had coffee that night, I didn't know it was going to look like this. I didn't know I was going to have a step and repeat banner behind. Look, hey, look at this. Do you see a Grow Stack Drive logo on that step and repeat banner? No, you do not, because it did not exist when we first started doing this. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, especially those of you that are here right now, that Grow Stack Drive brand will be the brand that we're known for. It will be it's not Ken Johnson Group. It's not Johnson Coaching. Now I've got my Ken Johnson team on the real estate side but it's going to be Grow Stack Drive. That's what everybody is coming to know Grow Stack Drive now. That's what they're becoming. And it's not even on my banner. Again, sometimes you can't see where you're going from where you are. I had no idea even 3 or 4 months ago that GSD was going to be where it was. I had no idea. I didn't know. So here's what I want to say to you guys. Number one, you got to get moving. You've got to take action. You've got to get moving. Moving becomes commitment, and action gets you focused. Action will get you locked in to what you want to do. The third thing, and we're not going to be super long tonight. I want to hear some. When we get through with action, I want to go through the room tonight, and I want to hear from you guys. So get ready to turn your cameras on, because I'm not having any cameras off when we get done. I'll have Stacy kick your tail out of the room. I want to hear from you one area you need to take action on, because guys, there's places in my own life I'm like, crap, I got to act on that, dude. I got to get this done, because it's not always easy. And you've heard Grant say time and time again, whatever you don't like doing the most is the thing you need to do first. Like go after that one thing. The third thing that action does is action gets you learning. Action gets you learning. When you're moving and focused, you tend to be teachable. Write that down. When you're moving and focused, you tend to be teachable. Listen, if you want to sit in your mom and dad's basement in your underwear eating Cheetos and playing Xbox for 14 hours a day, you don't need to be teachable, because you ain't doing anything. Listen, if you're sitting in a 9-to-5 job and you're comfortable and you're just kind of doing your thing, you don't need to be teachable. But let me tell you something. When you get into action and you start moving, and then the picture becomes clearer to you, and the more you move, the further down the road you get, the clearer the picture and the destination become. The more you move towards your destination, the clearer your focus gets on the destination and what you want to become and where you want to go. So it's all about action. And here's the deal. Are you teachable? Are you teachable? And if you're not teachable, one of our 5 core values, you know this, if you've been with me for any length of time, one of our core values is teachability. And we're not only teachable, we don't only receive feedback, but we actively pursue feedback. Like literally we're going after, how can I get better? I was on the phone call yesterday with Jared Glant for about 10 minutes. I was on a phone call with Richie Dolan today for 8 minutes and some change when we got off the phone. And with both of them, I'm like, hey, if there's something I need to do or something I'm missing, I want you to know I'm giving you permission to speak into my life. You tell me if you see something not something I'm doing wrong, because hell, we're going 1,000 miles an hour. There's going to be things we do as a licensee that we probably shouldn't be doing. But it's, hey, if you see something and you see an area I need to grow, and I told Richie this several months ago, listen, I never want to be the guy in the room that doesn't know what he doesn't know. Everybody knows that person, right? You're at work and you got a teammate that doesn't know what they don't know. Like I said, I don't ever want to be that person, because listen to this. The further you get down the road, the more you're going to get into groups of people and into relationships with people that may be a little bit above the level or the game that you've ever played at before. And when you get in those rooms, listen to this, when you get in those rooms and you're moving and you're focused, those are your opportunities to be teachable. And I literally have submitted to Richie and goes, hey, listen, if there's something I need, if I'm the guy don't let me be the guy that don't know what he don't know. If I'm that guy, I want you to call me. If I talk too much on your podcast, or if I ask too many, just pick the phone up and call me. You're not going to hurt my feelings, because I want to get better. I do not want to be the guy that doesn't know what he doesn't know. So action gets you learning. And another thing I'll say to this with you guys too is this. Again, I'll kind of go back to the Grow Stack Drive. Jeremy's on the call. Jeremy and I were the one that had the conversation yesterday about Grow Stack Drive, about how, dude, I didn't see this coming. And then bam, here we are. And it's like, ooh, this thing's getting big. We're getting some notoriety. We're getting some people who are paying attention to what we're doing now. And it all started. And when it started, guys, I didn't know. I didn't know. But let me tell you what I do know. I'm learning. I sat in San Francisco with Anthony Trucks for 3.5 hours about 8 weeks ago before we started the whole process of doing our courses and stuff. I sat with Anthony and he literally spent about 2 of those hours talking to me how to develop my courses that he had learned from Tony Robbins, who he speaks for a lot, and from Dean Graziosi, with whom he speaks for a lot, and shared stages with some very large influencers in that space. And he just gave me so much. I was sitting there taking notes as fast as I could go. Well, I got that information that I took from Anthony, sat down with Nate, and sat down with Sheena, our content and course creator girl, and it changed everything that we were going to do. We were going to come out with a business coaching, a individual leadership coaching, and a real estate coaching. And what I learned from him, he was like, Ken, this is not what you need to do. You need to have, you can do those courses later if you want to, that's fine. But you need to come up with a signature course or courses that is step 1, step 2, step 3. So just guys, listen, action gets you learning. It puts you into learning mode. Because when you begin to act and you're wanting to go after something or a vision or a dream, or there's something on the inside of you, what you do, guys, it not only gets you learning, but I promise you, it will put you in the right room with people who can help you do what you want to do. I am living proof. And when you get in those rooms and you get around those relationships, when you handle those things right, and it goes back to what do I want for you, not what I want from you. When you literally have a heart of a servant leader, where it is, I'm going to put my other people's needs before my own. I'm going to do things without being asked, and I'm going to do things right the first time. When you just approach, I know that sounds elementary, and it is, because that's what I walked my kids through from kindergarten all the way up to she's 24 years old now. We walk them through that every single day. It is elementary, but it's really not. Because when you get in rooms with people who can help you and literally take your goals and dreams and not just be like, up and to the right, but just, literally you'll skyrocket and go and grow faster than you ever thought you could grow before. But action gets you learning. When you're moving and focused, you tend to be teachable. So here's the thing. How do we stay in action? What do we need to do to stay in action on a consistent basis? And I know Eden said she was going to make it tonight. I don't see her in the room. I talked to her on Saturday. So I'm going to share her story anyway. Even if she's not here and I don't have permission. I called her Saturday because I was on the treadmill. I called her Saturday because I was working out, and I saw a picture of her on Instagram or something. I sent them through, and I'm like, you know what? I hadn't seen Eden do some push-ups in a minute. Actually, Rosa, I saw your 75 hard, and I saw a picture of her, and I was like, where's my push-ups at? I ain't seen my push-ups in a minute. So how do we stay in action? 2 things. Number 1, we need the right plan. And that's what we've created for you guys, is we've created an unbelievable plan. The second thing is, and I'll get into this, is we need the right people. We need the right people. And I'll tell you guys this from me now. Again, we're moving really, really fast. We took too much time off between the last coaching group that we started and the one that we're kind of in now. We took too much time off. Number 1, I didn't know. Number 2, we were creating these courses. But I know, because I see when we talk about how do I stay in action, we need the right plan. We need the right people. Those are the 2 things we have to have. We've got to have community, because let me tell you what happened on Saturday. After I got off the phone with Eden, I was on the treadmill. I got off the phone with Eden, and what's she been doing for the last 2 or 3 days? Posting her workout pictures. I talk with different people about different things. I'm constantly on the phone with people having conversations. Hey, how are you doing? Joseph Wells called me last week. Joseph, was it last week we spent some time on about a business opportunity and a business question he had? Joseph, did I unmute yourself really quick? We won't talk about specifics of what we talked about, but when you called me, you were looking for what?
Looking for advice looking for.
You weren't looking for advice. What were you looking for?
You know what? It really is very relevant to what we're doing today. I mean, I feel like, I mean, you kind of had to pull it out of me, but you were like, dude, you know what you need to do.
That's
Take
exactly
action
right.
and do it.
Right.
And to be honest with you, Ken, this kind of goes back to what we're saying here as well. I have started just a little something that I literally started over the weekend, and I was like, you know what? Let me just try this. Let me just see if this works. And I have gotten five jobs from Monday until today, just giving it a shot. And I was like, hey, I might be able to do it.
Yeah. So Joseph asked me, and this is a big career move for him. It's a big career move for him. And he called me and he was sharing. He's like, Ken, this is what I want to do. And this is what I said, bro, what are you calling me for? You know the freaking answer. Is that not what I told you? And I told him, I said, dude, I'm going to be pissed if you don't do this.
No, you're exactly right. You're exactly right. And you know what? It's actually one of the Growth Stack Drive, what is it, 12 o'clock things that you do. And I was listening to Nikki Sharp, and she said, you know, two of the main things that I deal with is one, fear, two, you know, limited mindset. And I was like, well, what's stopping me? Is it fear or is it limited mindset? Maybe it's both. I was like, but I just need to take action, you know? I mean, and I need Ken to kind of help me pull it out of me.
And so, guys, so I say that we need the right plan, which we've created, and I'm going to walk through in just a minute, and we need the right people in our life. Dude, Joseph's going to freaking crush it. And we walked through, we did walk through, okay, where are you finance-wise? Where are you here-wise? Where are you here-wise? Where are you? Bro, what are you calling me for? Freaking check. You know what he needed me to do, guys? He needed me to give him permission. That's all he needed. Just give me permission. And I told him, I said, listen, if you don't do this, I'm going to be pissed. Because this is just, you're done if you don't do this. This is, well, it's going to set, I get all that. I understand what you're saying, but you've got, and I promise you, I told him this on the phone, in 12 months, dude, you're going to look up and be like, dang, thank you. It wasn't just me, but it's community, guys. We have to have the right plan and we have to have the right people. And I'm telling you, community. I don't see Jan Southern. I'm not sure she's on the call or not tonight. But I was on the phone with Jan today. You know, Jan was in our last group, and she owns the magazines down in Savannah, Georgia. She's got 2 magazines. Well, she called me and asked me, and she went down to the mastermind with Grant, 2 months ago, I guess, when I signed up. It's $10,000 to go for 2 days, which for her was, you're talking about stretching a limited belief system, was like, ooh, 10 grand to go down there for 2 days. Well, we talked on the phone today for about 20 minutes. And I asked her, I said, hey, talk to me about how are you doing? How's the business? Dude, the business is growing like crazy. And I asked her about the mastermind. I said, you know, what was that like? She goes, Ken, it changed everything for me. Like I was on this trajectory and I was learning through the Growth Stack Drive coaching. I would learning. She goes, I never would have been able to walk in that room and be ready for what I got that weekend had it not been for the 10 weeks that we spent with Growth Stack Drive. And it's literally because she just continued to grow and grow and grow. She got around the right people. And it did what? It has changed her mindset on what's possible. It has changed her mindset about what's possible. So here's the plan. We've created the 3 courses. I shared this with you guys earlier. What I want to do really quick is I'm going to share my screen with you guys. I want to show you guys, this is the funnel video. So this isn't the teaching video, and I don't think the volume goes through. I know you can share screen. I'm not sure if the volume works or not, but I want to share a little bit with you guys real quick. Let me go on here, share my screen because you can't see anything yet.
And when you hit share,
yep,
you can also, on the bottom left, it should be a button that says share audio as well.
Oh, hey, look at there, baby. Let me see real quick.
On the Zoom pop-up.
Okay. Let me do this then. Hang on, give me 1 second. Okay, stop share. Oh, share computer sound. Bam, look at there. I tell you what, Greg Darley, he is way smarter than I am. Okay. See if I can get my slow MacBook or my slow iMac to don't tell me it's not gonna let me do it. Okay, it's not gonna let me do it because I've got to install it. Did I lose everybody? Can everybody hear me okay?
Hear you loud and clear.
Gotcha. Okay, perfect. Yeah, y'all give me a thumbs up. So I'm gonna share this for just a second.
Hey guys, my name is Ken Jocelyn. Thank you for watching this video. I wanted to take a brief minute and share with you about our GSD code series. I think it's something that has the ability to be able to impact your life in a dramatic way. So the Grow Stack Drive code is wrapped around 3 courses on mindset, strategy, and leadership development. So why should you hang around? Well, I'm the owner of the Ken Jocelyn Group, which consists of the Ken Jocelyn team, my real estate company, where I have a team in Birmingham, Alabama, as well as Atlanta, Georgia. And last year, I was fortunate to do right at $8 million in real estate on my own. Over the past
absolutely ridiculous. And
number 2, they have little to no strategy. And number 3, they have no course or no roadmap on how to multiply through leadership development. And the 4th thing is they don't have the right coach. Who
so this is
business owner after business owner after business owner who have been connected in our Grow Stack Drive.
So I wanted to show that. I wanted to show that to you guys a little bit, so you got a sense of the quality of what we shot. I mean, there's just nobody in the space that we're in that's doing things. Ooh, that's a goofy looking face I made right there. Nobody in the space that we're in that's doing things at the level and the quality of what we just did last week. So the Grow course obviously is on mindset. It's 8 weeks. It's housed on Kajabi. So I know several of you guys have already signed up to do those things. So how do we stay in action? We need the right plan. And this literally, guys, is 6 months of coaching. And what I'm doing for our GSD alumni, if you're a GSD alumni, you get it for half price. So it's $1,197 for you guys to do it. And just on the video courses and the Kajabi and everything we've done, I'm going to be about 60 grand cost in getting this thing rolling and shooting everything, not to mention the time and the stuff that we've done in it. So for the 3 courses, Grow, Stack, and Drive, they run one right after another. So it's basically 6 months of online coaching, and all of those courses will run. Each of those groups will be 8 weeks. Then we'll take 2 weeks off. The second thing we talked about is we need the right people. And what you're going to do is you're going to spend the next 6 months with some of the most phenomenal people and entrepreneurs on the planet. We're gonna kick this thing off with our Click Funnel. So it's not just going to be kind of this community. You're going to see this thing begin to grow and take off as we get this thing online. So super excited for that. I wanted to run that by you guys. So what we've done is I'll share my screen with you guys one more time, because I do want to show you. I do want to take you over here to the, let me go here and share this Grow Stack Drive page with you guys. And I'll walk you guys through exactly what this looks like. And then I want to take some time answering some questions from you guys. And then I do also want to talk about action. I want one thing, one step for action from you guys. So here's the coaching program for the growstackdrive.com/coaching. So the self-paced, you can buy the digital downloads at $397 a piece. You can buy the bundle deal for $997. The group coaching, so 8 weeks of group coaching and the downloads and the private Grow Stack Drive Facebook page is going to be $1,000 an 8-week session, or you can buy the bundle deal for $2,497. What I'm doing for our alumni, if you were part of our very first online coaching group, which there was 30 some odd people we had, I'm going to let you do that for half price. So your price is it's not even half, it's $1,200. So it's a little bit less than half price. And that $1,200 takes care of 6 months of online coaching, community, all the courses, all the workbooks, the hack guides, everything else. The next step up is our boot camp. We're doing the boot camp here. I'll take your hands over to you. We're doing the boot camp at Coach Burt's Lodge. So it's gonna be 3 days. And guys, you're talking about intimate. This is a ridiculously intimate setting with myself, Coach Burt, and Anthony Trucks. Nate will be there as well. He'll be speaking and emceeing as well. We'll be talking that weekend. Will be spent on mindset. It'll be spent on strategy, and it'll be spent on leadership, multiplication through leadership development. It's going to be a phenomenal time. Obviously, I'm there. Coach Burt's there. Anthony, I told Anthony that's the sexiest picture of any guy I've ever seen in my entire life. So the boot camp price. You know what? Here, let me take you guys right here. Here's some pictures of the boot camp. Of the lodge in Nashville. It's a huge lodge. I believe it's 8 acres.
what we'll do is in that large area right there, we'll set up tables. So we'll do about 40 to 50 people max. I think we may have, yeah, so you can kind of see that was actually from the event that I was at. And then there's the upstairs training room that we'll be using as well. So that's what that looks like. The boot camp price, guys, is going to be $5,000. That boot camp also takes care of 6 months of coaching, the Growth Stack Drive private Facebook page, as well as all 3 of the courses on Kajabi with all the videos and everything else. And what I've done for you guys, who is that lean machine on that video? I know, right? What I've done for you guys is I've lowered that price to you guys for $4,000. So you guys can be, because here's the deal. You guys started with me. You guys literally, y'all helped make the dream come true. Without you guys, without Joe Sarkis and what he's doing, without Melissa Stewart and what she's doing, or Joseph Wells or David Ridnour, without Joseph Infante, without Greg, without you guys, we wouldn't be anywhere. So I literally, and guys, I will tell you this. I had a phone call today, actually, with Phil Mills. Phil, are you still on? Did I lose Phil? He may have hopped off. Oh, there he is right there. Unmute yourself.
I'm on.
Tell everybody what you told me today as far as the value of what we're putting out.
Yeah, Ken and I were talking, and I told Ken I'm a hobbyist student of personal development, and I've invested in a lot of things. I'm a John Maxwell team member. I'm a certified Dave Ramsey coach. I have invested in Darren Hardy in my lifetime, Tony Robbins, a whole bunch. I've taken a lot of stuff in. And I know the different prices that I paid for a lot of the things, and what I've looked at what Ken's done thus far and what he's charged for it and what he has provided in the value of information and content, the value has been phenomenally more than what he's put a price on. And that says a lot for Ken, his integrity, everything, the core values he speaks to. And he's a man who backs up his word, and it's been good.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you. So, and guys, here's I would love to see every one of you guys at boot camp. I had a long talk with Rosa today. Whatever we need to do for you to be a part, I want to do whatever we need to do. I've had guys I've had conversations with. They're like, because we're going to run this special for a week. But I had one guy that called me and said, dude, I can pay you half now and I can pay you half now. Whatever you need to do for our alumni and the people that started with us and really kicked off this journey with us, I literally am willing to do whatever I need to do for you guys to be a part, because I know it's going to make a difference in your life and in your business and in your home, unlike anything else. This Grow course that we're doing is going to be phenomenal. So questions, guys. Does anybody have any questions on the course, on the boot camp? Fire away.
Hey, Ken, do I have to buy all 3 of the Growth Stack and Drive courses if I just wanted to do 2? Does that make sense? Is that something?
You can do, yeah. For you guys, the courses with the coaching are $399. That's just what they are for you.
Okay,
guys.
so I can buy them. Okay, because some of the stuff is catered for businesses, and I don't have a business, so.
I mean, there's not really anything that as far as business, I mean, when we do the stack, we're going to do strategy, personal and professionally. The leadership, the multiplication through leadership development is really, to be honest with you. And Phil, I mean, I'll let Phil answer that question.
Yeah, I think overall, my answer to that question is, and Ken shared a little bit of the structure that I've seen, but ultimately, Joe, in my mind, everything we do as a person is a business. So we as individuals, no matter what part of life, whether it's our family, whether it's our relationships, whether it's our professional life, our avocational life, whatever it is, we're a business. And based on that, I think there's phenomenal value in the content of all of it. And then ultimately in the world of leadership, and in order to lead, that's a business as well, right? Because to lead means you have to be able to influence, and to be able to influence as a leader, there's a lot of things that go behind that. And it's all business related, both in the world of leading self and leading others and leading everything in your life.
Thank you for guilting me into buying them all 3. I appreciate it. Thank you, guys. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. I'm laughing on a little. Yeah, no, makes sense then. Okay.
Yeah. And hey, Ken, one question that I think for like the alumni, because I think some of us might think that having been through the one round, that the Grow session would be a repeat. So I think there might be some value because I think there's a lot more in there than what we've probably seen thus far.
Yeah, there is nothing that we're doing right now is repeated. I mean, literally, we took those 10 weeks, and there may be a piece here and there, but we literally wrote 3 brand new courses, based on, the information that I got from Anthony in that meeting that day and some of the things. I mean, he hooked me up with his coach, and his coach is like $5,000 a month. He hooked me up with his guy, and just the insight they gave us was, hey, you need to rewrite to launch this the way you want to launch it. You need to rewrite this with at least 3 brand new courses. Now we'll do individual leadership development, but it'll fall under, now that we have Grow, Stack, and Drive, and one is mindset, one is strategy, and one's leadership development. The new courses that we have will fall under one of those Grow, Stack, or Drive. So if we do the business development one again, it'll probably fall under the stack. So it'll be an entirely new course under strategy. It'll be a business development. Does that make sense, Joe? Everybody else? So that's kind of what we did. And that was the and it goes back to, guys, the whole learning component I talked about. Action gets us learning. Like, I didn't know that. I mean, we just, hey, we're going to do it. Let's go. I had all this content. We're creating it every week. We're kind of walking you through what we did with our one-on-one business guys. And then when I met with Anthony and then his coach, it was like, hey, this is how, if you want to do this at the level you want to do it, and you're going to pay $60,000 or so to get this filmed, and you're going to put it out there like a Tony Robbins or a Grant Cardone or a Dean Graziosi, what you need to do is you need to do it the right way. And this is the right way to do it. So that's why we changed there. So other questions, guys? I don't know if anybody's talking or not. My AirPod just went dead. Somebody.
We can't hear you, Ken. We can't hear you. Now I can hear you. Nope. Nope. Can't hear you. Nope. Still cannot hear you.
No, I can't. Stacy, did you mute him? I'm just kidding. Stacy. There's Mike. Your mic died? Yeah.
Nope.
Wow.
What about now?
Now we can. Now we can.
Okay, there we go. For some reason it said I was muted, but I did not know I was muted. Can you guys hear me now? If somebody would talk, that'd be fantastic.
We hear you.
Perfect. I got you guys. Perfect. Okay, good. Sorry about that, guys. Technical difficulties. What I was saying just a minute ago was it goes back into the learning part. It's literally as we go, we learn. And as we get closer and closer to our destination, the focus becomes more clear. So that's why we did what we did on the courses. That's why I flew a girl in and paid her big money to come in to be able to help us design and lay out these courses and handle everything that she needed to handle on her end. So super excited about that. But what I would like to do, guys, is I'd like to run around the room for maybe 10 minutes and take 30 seconds a piece maybe. And I'd love for you to tell me, I want to know one thing you need to take action on. Like, you're listening tonight and you're like, crap, this is what I need to do. What is it?
I got to take action on personal development. I think back to Grant saying the 47-hour rule, that 7 hours out of each week, you need to be working on yourself. And I think that really starts in the morning and before you go to bed. So that's going to be my biggest focus on this next week.
Love it, dude. What are you doing right now for that, James? Anything specific?
This past week, actually, I've been listening to a lot of Jim Rohn lately, just getting like in that right frame of mind. Instead of listening to music in the car, I'm trying to listen to talks. You know what I mean? Just because music's like bubblegum for the ears, you know?
Yep. I love that. That's a good word too. Yeah, I love that. That's great. Somebody else, guys. Don't be shy.
Mm-hmm. I'll go.
Hey, go ahead, Rose. What you got, babe?
So one of the things that I've been really thinking about, but I haven't really moved on, and I'd like to do it pretty soon, like this before the end of the week, is to get this feedback from my employer, from different people at my job, because I also don't want to be the person that doesn't know what I don't know. I feel like I've been in my job for quite a while. I feel like I'm doing a good job, but what I feel may not be the reality. I want to know. So I feel like that's something that I've been thinking about. I tried doing it last year, but I think I didn't do it properly because, you know, people are like, well, nothing's wrong, you know? And I'm like, okay, I'm certainly not asking the right questions because I'm not, you know, I want to be able to grow. I really want to see, you know, what else I can do to put myself, you know, to put myself in a better position.
Yeah, you want to fulfill your purpose. You want to feel like you're living to the level and the expectation that you have for you. Rose, I'd say two things. Well, number one, when you go into that conference, I'd send an email and beforehand, before you schedule that meeting, I say, hey, I'd love to schedule a meeting. Can we do it? And here's what I'd like to talk about. Number one, I'd like to know what you think my strengths are. Mm-hmm. Number two, I'd like to know what you think my weaknesses are. What are areas you think I need to work on? And I'd ask them those two questions. Hey, I'm committed to personal leadership development, and these are the two questions I'd love to ask you. But hey, what do you think I'm strong in? What do you think my strengths are? And number two, what do you think I need to improve on, or what are my weaknesses? What are areas you think that I need to grow in? And ask them, and I think you'll get exactly what you want and what you're looking for out of that. Somebody else, guys. Jay, talk to me down there in Arizona.
All right. Yeah. One of the things that a few things that I'm trying to work on are personal growth, motivation, and self-discipline. Well, also unlocking my full potential, because I feel like I'm scratching the surface on it, and I'm really going to hone in on what needs to be done to get there. And I mean, being on these calls and everything like that, it really helps. And goal setting, write down my goals every day, every night, every morning. So
good. I think the number one thing for you, Jay, because you and I spent some time together and had some conversations and hung out a little bit. I think the biggest thing for you, and not just you're 22, freaking for every 30-year-old, if you're under 35, you know, when you have a bad day, it's like the freaking sky's falling. I promise you it's not falling, bro. It's just not. You get in this right here. That's why Grant says you write goals down 3 times, every morning, every evening, and anytime you have a setback. So dude, when it sucks, and I'm telling you, there's going to be days that freaking just suck, bro. It just ain't always going to be good. But those are the days when you get up in the morning and you go, I'm going to plow through today. I don't feel like doing it. I want to just, if somebody looks at me sideways, I want to cuss at them, you know, because everybody gets that way. If they say they don't, they're lying to you. Okay. Those are the days you're going to have to plow through. Those are the days you're going to have to go, nope, I've got goals right here. I'm going to put my head down and I'm going to do what I know I need to do, because that's when we talked about action just a while ago, action gets you moving and action gets you learning. That's exactly what it does. It gets you moving and it gets you learning. And those are the two things. It's just getting in action. And for you and anybody under 35, it's freaking consistency every day.
Yes, sir. Thanks, Ken.
Every day, my friend.
Thank you.
Somebody else. Greg, what you got for me, man?
So my biggest thing is I just need to be better about getting out of my comfort zone. It was a big step for me to start taking action and getting those videos out there. But now it's more, I'm realizing, I knew this before, but I've just noticed that I need to set myself apart to get the attention that I want. There's a lot of content on social media, so I have a lot to compete with and a lot of other distractions. So it's really just differentiating myself. So
you actually smiled in front of 20 some odd people on here just a minute ago. So that may be the first time I've seen you do that in about 3 months. Look at him. Here's
the right direction.
Yes. Here's what I would say to you, Greg. Dude, you've got heart, dude. You have got an unbelievable heart for people. You can tell it, man. It's just, I told Brandon today on the podcast, if you saw this, and Phil and I actually talked about this, I guess after we were on the phone after the podcast today, I believe it was. But I told Brandon, I said, there's one thing you can't fake. that when people have it, it's authenticity. You can't fake authenticity, man. When people feel like this cat's genuine, dude, I'm telling you, they're going to listen to what you have to say. And then it's just you being you and you getting out of your comfort zone and doing what you feel like's in your heart, bro. That's really for you. And I commend you, dude. My hat's off to you because you're not a high D personality like I am. You're just not. And I watch you step out, and I've watched the growth and maturity in what you've done over the past 2 months, dude. And I'm like, my guy.
I appreciate that, guy.
Wow. And I got to step in because you nailed it, man. When you said that you had to get out of your comfort zone, because Ken said that action is learning, but I was sitting here the whole time he was saying, I'm saying, well, really, it's not learning if you're just doing repetitive action in your comfort zone. But the minute you do action outside of the comfort zone, that's where the learning and the growth happens, right? And so that's something that I always have to remind myself. And so right in line with what Ken's asking, the good thing about all these Zoom calls they're about chest high up.
Yes,
so you don't get to see the mid section that I have. So ultimately the point is I want to step up the bar on the physical fitness routine that I've got going on. And that'll put me out of the comfort zone because comfort zone's not doing it. So that's
Rosa said she's doing a 75 hard training.
I know.
She starts in $9.99 for every client.
All right, Rosa.
She'll run you through that in a heartbeat. Somebody else, guys, give me an action step.
One thing I would say is that not exactly staying consistent in what I say, but more so I have so many things I want to do to the point that I'll do a little bit of this, I'll do a little bit of that, but then at some point I'll just stop doing that to do this, or stop doing that over there to do this one. So it's more so like, I guess, getting organized and then staying consistent in that area.
So are you finishing any of those things you start, or are you just going to start in something new and the one thing doesn't get, I can see Mom's face right there. I know exactly what the answer is already.
And also like being summer, I had to switch my mind of like, oh, it's just summer, just let me chill. I'm out of school. I should probably just think of like, oh, what can I do? How can I be productive? How can I do this? So it's really just getting organized a bit more.
Well, there are very few teenagers on calls like this. I can promise you that. What I would say to you is commitment, 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 commitment. If you start something, you make a commitment with your mom, you make a commitment with the community to finish it. I'm going to finish this, because there's something about finishing what you start that's going to grow and give you it's going to give you such a head start on everybody else that's your age when you're 20, 21 years old and you're starting projects and you're actually seeing them to completion. Because your generation, that's probably the biggest thing that they don't do, because there's so many things like, look over here, a squirrel, and you just got so many options and opportunities. I'd just say commitment, man. Just focus on being committed. And when you start something, and maybe look back at where you're at the last month or so, and look at maybe a couple of things you started and go, okay, I'm going to go finish these, and make a commitment with your mom and make a commitment with this community.
One thing I've been a bit committed to was like reading. The past 2 days I haven't read because I've been doing stuff, but lately I've been reading and I'm already like on my 3rd book. So that's one thing I'm proud of, because I don't remember reading that much, probably like since 5th grade.
Love it, girl.
6th, I would probably read one book and then just like, okay. But now I'm reading a bit more than I used to. So that's one thing I'm happy about.
Good. Here's what I would like for you guys to do as well, because we're going to get out of here in the next 5 minutes. I'd like for you guys to go on the GSD Facebook page, and whatever your action is, I'd like for you to put that. Just post it. Just post what that is. Sin needs to get my EXP website done for the real estate. I got that. Yep. Great. Nate said I get in bed before 10 o'clock. So that's another great goal. So if you guys would just list those down, let's take 1 or 2 more. And then we're gonna call it a night, guys. Somebody else. Jeremy, what you got for me, preacher?
Well, I'm thinking about what I would say, what I need to take action on. I think for me, it just is continuing to stay teachable and hungry, and I need to be a good follower before I can be a good leader.
Well,
So
you're doing a good job, man.
Well, thank you. So
tell everybody your win in your business in July.
In July, we did 100,000 for the month. We did 102,000 actually. And that was a great month. And a lot of that is attributed to obviously Ken and his efficiency. He is a monster. He's a machine when it comes to diagnosing snags and friction and being able to put himself in your position as if he were there running your company. And it's helped. I mean, it's helped so much. That alone is worth any amount of money that I've put toward this. So I'm so thankful to you for that. So thankful for your honesty and your authenticity. And so that's every bit your success as it is mine. So yeah, just continue to stay humble and to continue to stay teachable and to become the best follower I can so that I can get blue collar bosses up and going ultimately.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Love you, dude.
One more person.
Always remember that as a follower, there's always someone who's also looking at you as a leader, you know? So as we're all on our journey, there's usually people above us that we're looking up to and following, but always never forget that there's probably someone that's where you started that's trying to even get to there that are looking to you as a leader. So
that's right.
In the following, we're also leaders.
Melissa Stewart, you're awful quiet over there tonight, girl. You knew I wasn't going to let you get through a whole call without calling on you. You knew better than that.
I was waiting to see. What's up?
Give me an action step, girl.
I got lots of action steps to take. I need to hire a coach. I've been putting that off for a while.
No, hey, I know a good one.
I know, right? Yeah, I need to hire 2 new employees for my cleaning business so I can ramp that up. I'm maxed out with what I got, so that's next step for that. I need to get more active on Instagram, promoting my coaching business and being more clear about what I offer. I need to get professional pictures done for my website, right, Ken Jocelyn? So those are some next steps I got to do.
Hey, so I'm gonna tell on Melissa a little bit.
Dirty dog.
She said, I said, we were looking at stuff. I'm like, you gotta get better pictures made. She goes, well, I got an appointment to get pictures made. I said, they're already professional. She goes, this is my sister-in-law or who was it?
Yeah, my sister-in-law.
So I didn't ask you if she was related to you. I asked you, was she professional? I said, you better go. I told her, I said, you better go pay at least $1,000 to get your pictures made. So
whatever, man. My selfies are better than any picture anybody can take. I got the right angle, the right lighting. I know how to work it.
If you can do it and pull off a Sherry Ennis, then by all means.
Oh yeah, no, she's the queen. Yes, I'm trying.
Yes, she is. Well, awesome, guys. Listen, I appreciate you guys. Anybody else want to share before we hop off? We missed anybody? Kara, you're never quiet this long. So what would be your action step?
Okay, I have 2 action steps. So I'm going to leave the person unnamed in the group, but there's a little book writing challenge.
Uh-oh.
So I'm going to get my book written by October 5th. It's called How to Conquer, 90-Day Delivery, How to Conquer Yourself to Achieve Your Dreams. So that's high on my list to do. And then the second thing that's super high priority is I have a blog. So I'm a blogger and I need to invite people to guest blog for me. And I need to start reaching out to guest blog for others. So I'm going to reach out to 5 people per day to grow an audience.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Love it, girl. Love it. Well, listen, guys, I appreciate you guys. If you've got any questions, you've got my cell phone number. I'll be reaching out. Several people have already bought boot camp tickets. Several people have already signed up for GSD Code. If you've got any questions, let me know. I'll be reaching out. Like I said, I called probably 6 or 8 of you guys today. So I'll be reaching out to you guys again tomorrow to kind of follow up, to kind of find out where you are, if you've got questions or any of that kind of stuff, or to see what we can do to get you to be a part. Sound good? Everybody good? Listen, dominate your day tomorrow. Listen, it's 9:19. 2 things, homework, 2 things. Number 1, I want you to do your plan for tomorrow. What do you got going on? Go ahead and take 5 minutes right now. As soon as we hang up the phone call, go ahead and write out tomorrow what it looks like. Jeremy, actually, before you came on today, I actually shared your quote that we talked about in our one-on-one yesterday. I don't want to think, I want to produce. And I promise you, you get up in the morning, you know what your day looks like. You won't think, you'll produce. And when he said that yesterday, I'm like, dude, that's freaking gold. He's so smart. He didn't realize he said it. He's just dropping bombs all the time on me. I don't want to think, I just want to produce. Second thing is, I want you to go to the Grow Stat Drive Facebook page, and I want you to post your action steps. Okay. If everybody should have access to it, Stacey, will you give Kara access to the thing? I think she probably doesn't have access to it. Guys, listen, love you guys. Super excited. Can't wait. We do have the affiliate program up. So if you've got people that you're working with or friends that may be interested, connect with me or Stacey, and we'll kind of give you a little bit of information on that affiliate stuff. Sound good? Crush it, guys. We'll see you next Wednesday, and look forward to everybody getting on to the Facebook page. And James Rich has already done his. Boom. Get it, big boy. Y'all have a good evening. Love you guys, and I'll see you guys